Oh my goodness, look at all these puppies.
The vet's hand stopped midair. His breath vanished. For the first time in 30 years, Dr. Calloway was speechless, because what just slid onto the table wasn't supposed to exist. Elias Reed had walked into the clinic that morning expecting joy. His beloved German shepherd, Luna, was finally giving birth after weeks of restless nights and anxious pacing. But as the sixth puppy emerged, a silence unlike any other swallowed the room. The staff froze. Luna let out a low, guttural whimper, not from pain, but from something deeper, something ancient and unknowable. Outside, word had already begun to ripple through the village. Faces appeared at the windows, eyes wide with a mix of curiosity and dread. What had this loyal dog given birth to? And why did it leave a seasoned veterinarian trembling like a man who'd just glimpsed the edge of the impossible? If your heart's racing already, hit like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a story that stays with you long after it ends. And I'd love to know, where in the world are you watching from? Drop your country in the comments. Let's see how far hope travels. Elias Reed wasn't a man of many words, but his calloused hands and sun-weathered face told stories of decades spent tending fields and mending fences. That morning, he'd carried Luna into Dr. Mara Calloway's clinic like she was made of glass. Her once glossy black and tan coat was matted, her ribs visible beneath shallow breaths, her eyes dull with exhaustion. "She's been fighting something all night," he whispered, voice cracking. "Not just labor. Something worse." Dr. Calloway, calm and steady as ever, guided Luna onto the examination table. The dog collapsed with a groan, her belly heaving. The staff sprang into action, towels, warm water, sterile gloves, but even they sensed it. This wasn't routine. Luna's contractions were weak, her heartbeat erratic, as if her body were betraying her from within. Elias stood frozen, hat twisted in his hands, watching the woman who'd saved his livestock for 20 years now fight to save the dog who'd saved him from loneliness. The first puppy arrived with a fragile squeak, and for a moment, relief washed over the room. But Luna didn't lift her head. She didn't nuzzle her newborn. She just lay there, trembling. The second and third came with even less vigor. Then the fourth emerged, and Dr. Calloway's breath caught. Its fur was patchy, skin almost translucent under the clinic lights, limbs too thin, chest rising in shallow, uneven bursts. She masked her shock instantly, but not fast enough. Elias saw it, the flicker of horror in her eyes. "Mara, what's wrong with them?" he asked, voice breaking. A nurse leaned in, whispering, "Doctor, they don't look right." Outside, the crowd grew. Mothers pulled children closer. Men spoke in hushed tones about omens and curses. Inside, fear coiled like smoke, thick and suffocating. Yet Elias stepped forward, jaw set. "They're alive. That's all that matters." Night fell, and the clinic became a battlefield of compassion. Luna was too weak to nurse, so Elias refused to leave. He sat on the cold floor, cradling the smallest pup against his chest, feeling its faint heartbeat like a whisper against his ribs. Dr. Calloway fashioned incubators from cardboard boxes and warm towels under heat lamps. Staff took turns rubbing tiny chests, coaxing breaths with gentle hands. One pup stopped breathing entirely. A nurse revived it with frantic compressions, tears streaming down her face. Elias held another to his lips, blowing warmth into its mouth until it gasped back to life. At one point, Luna stirred, lifted her weary head, and nudged a whimpering pup toward Elias with her nose, a silent transfer of trust that shattered him. He sobbed openly, but never let go. "You're not alone," he murmured into its fur. "I've got you." And in that room, love became the only medicine stronger than fear. By dawn, golden lights spilled through the windows, and against all odds, all six puppies were still breathing. Their cries were weak but steady. Elias, hollow-eyed and exhausted, finally allowed himself to exhale. But questions gnawed at him. Later that morning, as the staff stepped out, he turned to Dr. Calloway. "You've been holding something back. Tell me, what did you see that made you go pale?" She sighed, rubbing her temples. Luna wasn't due early. But these pups, they looked like they were born weeks premature. Twisted limbs, underdeveloped lungs, patchy fur. It's a constellation of symptoms I've never seen together in a full-term litter. Elias's heart sank. Did I fail her? Was it the food? The water? Dr. Calloway shook her head firmly. This isn't your fault. Sometimes, life throws mysteries we can't solve. But they're alive because you refuse to let go. And that gives them a chance. Elias looked at the pups, nestled in their makeshift beds, and whispered, "Then I'll give them every chance they need." Weeks passed. The pups grew stronger, still bearing small scars, a limp here, uneven fur there. But they lived with fierce, joyful energy. The village's fear melted into awe. Neighbors brought goat milk, soft blankets, even handmade toys. Children gathered at the fence, laughing as the puppies tumbled through the grass, chasing butterflies and tripping over their own paws. Luna, now restored to her proud, watchful self, lay beneath the old oak tree, eyes never leaving her litter. Elias sat among them, one pup curled in his lap, another tugging playfully at his bootlace. The same villagers who once whispered about curses now spoke of miracles. They weren't supposed to survive, an old woman said, tears in her eyes. But look at them now. And in that moment, the story was no longer about what was wrong, but about what was possible when love refuses to surrender. This story reminds us, the most fragile lives often carry the strongest hearts. If it moved you, share it with someone who needs hope today. And don't forget, subscribe for more true stories of courage, loyalty, and second chances. Until next time, keep believing in miracles,